Hello, everyone. I'm Chestic44, also known as Falai, and welcome to this Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity. Last episode, we did some preparation and settling of things that had to be settled and dealt with. Getting everyone leveled up, gear distributed, and all that good stuff. Now, well, while we could continue on with the main quest line, we are kind of high level, 13 and 14. I think this is the point where we can actually go and take care of part 2 of the White March DLC. So how about we go do just that? Let's head into Stalwart Village and see what's going on in there now. We'll go with standard. I'm pretty sure that's what I need to choose. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Uh-oh.
While we wait, the enemy grows stronger.
And you'd send more of us to die.
Well, I'm not gonna stand around. Are you?
You've done plenty, Darian.
You approach the source of the commotion and see a throng of villagers. They're arguing amongst themselves and hurling questions and demands at a lone figure perched above them. A young man stands on a spur of rock, his clenched fist held aloft. Steam rises from his wild hair and flushed face as he shouts to the gathering.
Been a week since our people left these gates. A week since the Iron Flail took them.
He paces the outcropping, his eyes burning. You see a few scattered nods in the crowd.
Yet we wait here behind our sturdy new walls, hiding in our rebuilt homes. We've done nothing.
He brings his fist into his palm with a sharp smack. The crowd erupts, bristling with pointed fingers and pointed words. One woman steps forward. Her eyes lock on the young man.
Who are you to tell us how to defend our own? You ain't been here 2 months!
Several of the others grunt and hoot. You feel a shift in the crowd like a changing tide.
And since I got here, I've been working alongside the rest of you. Don't start with that again.
A handful of others nod along with him, but they cringe and flinch as another villager joins the fray, shaking his finger at the young orator.
Well, it was your idea to send our people to that damned fort in the first place. If it weren't for you and the other leeches that come up with you, we wouldn't be in this mess.
The new accuser raises a chorus of furious cries. Darian raises his hands for calm, but the crowd's wrath is snowballing. Stop, everyone! A dozen heads turn in your direction. The villagers recognize you and their eyes widen with hope and reverence. What's this about?
A bunch of greedy foreigners who want what's ours.
Another cry goes up, but it's quieter and more uncertain. Darian quickly jumps in.
It's a small army from Raid Saris. They call themselves the Iron Flail.
At Darian's mention of the name, the rest of the crowd falls silent. The words trigger a sudden flashback to your dream of the mysterious army and the destruction of Cad Nua. As the image fades, you see once more the vision of 100 eyes watching you and something just beyond.
Showed up a few weeks after you opened the battery. Demanded we give him the White Forge.
He avoids your gaze, scraping his boot against a rock.
They're led by a Darek Sendamir. Comes from an old Raid Saren family. The rumor has it the man's half mad with visions. Claims one drove him here to take the White Forge.
In Zawa's experience, if one is only half mad with visions, the dose was too low.
Wow! I love that line. That is hilarious.
They're not the only bloodsuckers around here.
The villager glares up at Darian, but most of his fellows are ignoring him by now. Darian raises his voice above the ruckus.
Our crew at the battery locked their doors and told the Iron Flail to go back to Raid Saris. Instead, they built a fort in the middle of the wood. So we sent a committee to reason with them. But that was a week ago. We haven't seen our people since.
A low rumble ripples through the crowd. Darian hesitates.
That can only mean one thing.
He grimaces at the frightened, arguing crowd as the frightened, arguing crowd drowns him out once more. Can't you share the White Forge with the Reed Sarens? The villagers shout and squawk louder than ever.
After what they did to our neighbors?
Only thing they know how to do is start wars.
Please, everyone.
In the fragile silence that follows, the others turn and look at Darian.
Whatever our difference is, we've got to deal with the army at our gates.
He looks back to you.
You've done a lot for Stalwart already. Many of us wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for you.
He breaks off, looking as if he'd like to stuff his words back into his mouth. After an uneasy pause, he swallows and continues.
What I mean is, if anyone could deal with an army, it's you.
Very well. I'll help you.
The Iron Flail cleared a patch of forest north of Durgan's battery, built their fort there. It'll be well guarded, so if you can get in without raising an alarm, you may have an easier time of it. The important thing is to deal with the commander. If you can get rid of him, the rest of the soldiers will scatter.
I think I've dreamed about this army.
What exactly did you see?
The dream was unclear.
Of course. We're just thankful this dream led you back. Anyway, we've got our work cut out for us here.
He gives the crowd a purposeful look. Grumbling, they start to disperse.
While you're out, stop by the battery. Wangra and her team are still repairing the heavy cannons. They've made a lot of progress elsewhere. Thought you might like to see how far it's come.
Wanted to ask you about something.
Haven't been here long, but I'll tell you what I can.
Tell me about the Iron Flail.
They heard about the White Forge and came running. Just like a lot of us did. Only difference is, they brought siege weapons. As best anyone can tell, they're from the border region near Little Bend, one of the poorest parts of the country. For Raid Ceres, well, that's saying something.
What brought you to Stalwart?
Work. I was a cobbler in New Yarma, but the city got more crowded every year. Rural types fleeing the legacy. A couple months ago, I heard Stalwart was offering land and opportunity to new settlers, so figured I'd give it a go out here. For a while, folks seemed glad to have some new blood, but that changed as more and more of us came.
There does seem to be a lot of tension around town.
Before you opened Durgan's battery, people tell me Stalwart barely had enough warm bodies to keep the town running. A bunch of us came when we heard about the White Forge, but now, I think the old-timers would just as soon send us back.
He begins ticking items off on his fingers.
We take the best jobs, we don't pay our respects to Andra, we're overcrowding the town. I get it. Stalwart's changing. Same thing happened in New Yarma when folk moved in from the countryside. But they can't keep blaming us for everything that goes wrong out here.
He sighs and a steaming cloud escapes his lips.
I'm just hoping they'll calm down once the Iron Flail is gone.
Alright, that's all. Great, so they open up the battery and now people want in. This doesn't surprise me that much. Is it true? I saw the lights from the battery. Did you really open it? The Orlan clasps his hands in wonder. I can't believe it. I was sure I'd never make this route again, but who knows what rarities will come from those halls, Such an exciting time. Right, I do have a few things I can sell. A few small things. Literally 4 things. I've sold you a lot of things I don't really need anymore, but thank you. Let's see what else we can find here. Renin Guild never said negotiating trade agreements was part of the job. Run for mayor, they said. It's an easy job, they said. I should have stayed in the mines. He notices your approach and his eyes widen. Laniara, what brings you back to Stalwart? You're always welcome here. How's Stalwart doing these days? We've rebuilt. The western palisade is fixed, and some fancy merchant set up shop where Katie's house used to be. He gestures at the temple. We've also got a proper temple to Abaddon again. Never understood why the Undrites stuck around Stalwart in the first place. I'm pretty busy, so unless there's something else... What was that about a negotiation? There's a group of merchants from Defiance Bay interested in a trade agreement with Stalwart. Their representative Nesta is staying at the Gref's Rest. I've been avoiding her because I have zero experience with treaties and contracts and all that. I was a miner, not a diplomat. Maybe you could talk to her on my behalf. As mayor, I'll give you full authority to negotiate on Stalwart's behalf. What makes you think I'd do any better than you in a negotiation? Well, you're the hero of Stalwart, the woman who reclaimed the White Forge. Of course you'd do better than me. Debatable, but okay, I'll go talk to Nesta then. Oh, thank you. As I said earlier, you can find her in the Gref's Rest. Okay, meet her in the Gref's Rest in Stalwart Village. Fresh coals lie at the bottom of the smelter. I swear there's something strange going on in the mines. Lumps of iron ore fill the cart. If you're looking for work, Izmi might have something for you. Scattered spots of yellow powder blotch the surface of the barrels. The stench of sulfur lingers in the air. Alright, looks like we're going to be checking out everywhere again. But it does seem the Stalwart mines are open. Oh, and that building got fixed. And the temple to Andra is now a temple to Abaddon, which I guess that makes sense. The Andrites were, not exactly Andrites. Are you still waiting to use the toilet? Okay, fine. See if the guy in here has anything more to say. Alright, you have anything to say, Thriss?
Welcome.
No, he has nothing to say. Okay. Alright, how about we go take a look down at the Temple of Abaddon?
Oh, I knew that Malkachoa was bad.
Uh-huh. We got Ista there.
This is going to be fantastic. Just
Okay,
wait till I
you've
hear
got
about
nothing
this
new.
back home.
Let's check in here. Okay, oh wow. They've really improved this place.
Oh, come on! Stupid sword!
This smooth anvil hardly looks like it's seen use. This warped breastplate is still warm from the
A
forge.
simple test. That's settled.
We'll look at that in a bit. First. Okay, now you're just pissing me off. She slams her forge hammer down on the unfinished blade with a loud clang. Straighten out, damn you! Temper, Masha. The older priest glares at Masha reproachfully. Sorry, Master, it just slipped out. She takes a deep breath and releases it slowly. What's wrong with the sword? Ah, where to begin? She gestures at the rapidly cooling lump of iron on her anvil. For one, I can't manage to shape the metal no matter how hard I try. Master Engrim says envision a sword, so I'm envisioning really, really hard. I think I'm ending up with a club. Maybe a mace if I'm lucky, but no sword. If my work doesn't improve soon, they'll kick me out of the temple. Can't be a priest if you're not a proper smith. Unless you help me. I'm not a blacksmith. Oh, that's not the kind of help I'm asking for. I snuck a peek at Master Engrim's lore books and came across a ritual that can enchant a forge hammer to boost smithing skill. That's exactly the kind of edge I need. I've already completed the first part of the ritual, crafting the hammer. Unfortunately, the next two parts require travel to the Deerwood, and there's no way Master Engrim will let me leave anytime soon. Isn't crafting using a magical forge hammer unethical? I'm not trying to show anyone up, I just want to appear competent. You know, buy myself time until I'm actually competent. I'd better get back to it before Master Engrim gets annoyed with me. Why did you decide to become an acolyte of Abaddon? It's family tradition, one I've managed to keep going. Barely. I'll complete the forge hammer for you. Oh, that's great. That hammer actually turned out alright. The first place you'll need to go is the Shrine of Abaddon in Crucible Keep. That's in the First Fires District in Defiance Bay. I've never been there myself. Just place the hammer at the shrine and it should get blessed. Or something. After that, you'll need to find the Shrine of Magran in Magran's Fork. It's not far from Defiance Bay, to the north of the city, I think. Do the same thing with the hammer at that shrine, then head back here. Well, we're not going to be able to do that for a while because, yeah, the city's kinda locked down and in riots. We'll be dealing with this later. This shrine to Abaddon is smooth and shiny, as if it were made recently. Engrim nods at you and smiles in recognition. Ah, the Kindler of the White Forge. We owe you a great debt for the industry and faith you've restored here. Welcome to the Temple of Abaddon. This used to be a temple to Andra. He tilts his head to one side. Back when this was a dying, forgotten place. But the clerics who tended it left, as is customary of their goddess. The throngs who have since come to Stalwart sought a more practical deity. What do you do here? I lead this temple and guide the acolytes in matters both spiritual and mundane. He indicates the forge and anvils. Worshippers of other gods pray or meditate. We Abaddonians venerate our god through the act of smithing. Our doors are always open and our forge always alight. How may I help? Masha has asked me to enchant her forge hammer to enhance her smithing skills. If such a thing were possible, as Masha obviously believes, I'd be interested in seeing how things turn out. You don't seem concerned. Because I am not. He smiles brightly. Okay, so what do we have here? Stalwart money and Milla's drawing. This lightly singed piece of paper has a charcoal drawing on the front. Wait, it says I can examine it. Oh. That's interesting. Huh. Well, I don't know how Milla is, but okay then. Alright, let's keep looking around here. Got the fishery over here. We can start by taking a look over here. See if there's any changes to the fishery. Somehow I doubt there's anything notable or new in here. No, I don't think so. Let's head out. Alright, let's keep looking around. Asha, you're a new person.
What am I to do with all of these?
A well-built dwarven woman stands before you, one hand on her head and the other holding a few sheets of paper. 3 complaints of blights in Whitestone Hollow. And who are these people? Magran's faithful? Great, another pack of religious zealots. It's like they're popping out of the snow these days. She glances up at you. Oh, sorry, Laniara, just a little preoccupied. Things may have quieted down some with the ogres lately, but there's been no shortage of trouble, or work for those interested. Just saying. You mentioned blights. The terror of Whitestone Hollow. It's a grand blight that turned up after the avalanche. Real disaster, that. A great big heap of snow right on top of one of our main trade routes. We can't start fixing the roads until we get the blights out of there. Can't exactly ask you to bring back this thing's head, but word is the terror's last victim was a caravan master. Turns out the fellow always wore a certain brooch. I figure it's somewhere in that monstrosity's belly. Bring me the brooch and I'll take it as proof you handled the blight. Sound fair? Who are Magran's faithful? Bandits and horse thieves, far as I can tell. Led by a woman named Rodwith. Problem is their little group keeps growing and they've started tearing through some of the smaller villages. They were last spotted by Searing Falls, and rumor is they're headed in our direction. Stalwart's just getting its bearings. We can't afford this kind of trouble. Bring me Rodwith's heads, and I'll see you a little richer for it. Okay, so we've got bandits. And the like to deal with. Whitestone Hollow and Searing Falls. Well, we've got Whitestone Hollow over there. There's the Ironflail Fort. Haven't seen Searing Falls yet. Okay, this building's been rebuilt. Let's see. Hammond's Emporium. See what you got in here.
Would I interest you in a new blade?
Maybe, if we can see what you got. You can see your own reflection in these shields. This looks like Stalwart from the road to Deerwood. Cheap perfumes line the bottom shelf. These identical Abaddon figurines are all of equally poor quality. The shopkeeper's clothes seem a little nicer, if not terribly warm, compared to what you've seen around Stalwart. His hair is immaculately coiffed, and his rosy cheeks look like they've barely been touched by the mountain wilds. Welcome, welcome. I've got arms and armor, all top quality. Or perhaps you'd like to see potions. Always a pleasure to meet more respectable company out here, anyway. Let's see what you got. Twin Sting, a soulbound crossbow. Twin Sting is a crossbow with an unusual design. It is built to fire 2 bolts before requiring a reload. Ooh. And it's something we can soulbind. I think we're going to give that to our, Cypher. The rest of these are all fine gear. The Collared Coat. Lower armor speed penalty. Grants Wicked Briars when endurance drops below 51%. Then we've got Seal of Faith. Extra spell uses for a priest. That's very good. Stag Helm. I've already got like 2. Ring of the Salonin. Extra spell uses. Arguez Adra's helm. +3 resolve. Interesting, but I'll pass. Cloak of protection. Belt of bountiful healing. He carries many scars helm. Extra athletics. Defense while stunned. Defense while prone. Boots of defiance. Boots of evasion. Sanguine plates helm. Don't care about that. Then we've got scrolls. We've got traps. We've got drugs. We've got gems. We've got materials. All the way at the bottom. I'll take that, and I'll take that. Yep, that'll work. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, and this crossbow will certainly be going to our cipher. I'll have to hand it to her later. I don't know what abilities it has, but we will eventually find out. Okay, let's see here. So we've got...
Does anyone have any extra rations? I did some white leaf, and now I'm very hungry.
I do not. Sorry. Oh, we can loot this. Let's see if anyone in here. Alright, do you have anything to say, Taina?
Haven't felt this fresh and...
Nope, nothing new there. Okay, out of here. Okay, let's take a look in this direction then. Take a look in this house. And Renengild, do you have anything to say here? If it isn't the hero of the White Forge. Renengild nods in greeting. She looks more relaxed than you've ever seen her. You come back to check on your handiwork, or are you just here to wish me a happy retirement? Why'd you retire? She stretches. I've had enough of politics and town quarrels for this lifetime. So when Tarfos told me he was tired of the mines, I asked if he was ready to really get his hands dirty. Almost feel sorry for the guy. Well, hopefully you have a good retirement. And I just realized I won't be... And I just realized... Even though I thought I might be able to hand the crossbow to our cipher, she's currently out dealing with a quest. Okay, fine. Don't have any more bounties.
You really did it. I mean, people have always come through here, talking about opening the battery, claiming the White Forge, all that. But I didn't think anyone would ever really manage it. I told Ten I'd be willing to help out with digging out the mines again. You know, do my part. Figure we can turn this place around, now that you've laid the foundation.
Yeah, I'm pretty
So,
sure we would have
you're
heard that
back.
before.
Sure, ask away. Right.
Yeah, I don't think we have anything more to ask you about. We got 5 minutes. Let's take a look in here. Alright, let's see. Bard, villager. Why is that villager injured? Fiara, I think we've already
Thanks
dealt
again.
with.
I'll be gone just as soon as the weather clears.
Those two are for that. Cook and Katie.
Oh, it's you. I'm so glad you came by. I hoped I'd have the chance to thank you properly. They told me what happened. God's bless you, ma'am. I owe you my life. I know it was foolish of me to run in there. But this ring is all that I have of my family.
How are you holding up? I don't remember Katie.
Oh, I'm managing. Fenway's letting me stay with her until I'm back on my feet. Everyone's been lovely, really. It was hard seeing what's left of the house. But Rayvald says he's going to see a hut raised for me soon as they get the logs.
What's so special about this ring anyway?
Sentiment, mostly. When he first settled here, my grandfather had a ring fashioned from the first batch of ore he excavated. It was supposed to commemorate his fresh start. He passed it on to his daughter, and my mother gave it to me in turn.
Oh, wait. Is she the woman we pulled out of the burning house? That's probably what that is. And there's Nesta. Okay, let's speak with you. Ugh, I thought I ordered ale. She might have brought me the dishwater by accident. Or maybe on purpose, you can never tell. What brings you to Stalwart? I represent a group of investors from Defiance Bay who are attempting to establish a trade agreement with Stalwart. Before they're willing to commit to any agreement, they want to have the town assessed, make sure it's as prosperous as people are claiming. That's where I come in. She takes a long sip from her mug. What's your assessment of the town? Well, there's certainly a lot of coin changing hands, but whether this is simply a short-lived boom or something that will persist long-term remains to be seen. Tarfos sent me. I'm here to negotiate the trade treaty on Stalwart's behalf. Finally! I was beginning to wonder if Tarfus had forgotten about me entirely. My first stop is Stalwart's fishery. My clients are concerned it's a liability to Stalwart's prosperity. I'll meet you outside its front door. Sure, I'll be there soon.
What can I do?
And who are you,
Please,
Kern?
someone has to do something.
Piss off, Kern. I got enough problems.
Decades I've lived here. We've worked and drunk together, and not a one of them will lift a finger. This dwarf's face is damp and blotchy. His outburst seems to take something out of him. He sags, his lined features showing his exhaustion. I'm sorry. I've no heart for conversation. I'm sure someone in here will drink to your health. What happened? I've done something terrible, and I'm not sure I can fix things. This neighbor of mine, Hadi, we've never gotten on at the best of times. This land dispute, losing half my property, things have gotten out of hand. Go on. I was drowning my sorrows here at the inn. There was a stranger, Kavestin, obviously from out of town. We got to talking. He's all smiles, says he's a paladin, that he'll sort Hattie out for me, get my land back if I give him the week's wages. I didn't know he was a bleak walker, a madman. I was half drunk, thought Sevestin meant he'd speak on my behalf. Put a scare into Hadi, not kill him. I tried to call him off once I realized. He laughed, said that doesn't happen. Please, you've got to help me. Nobody else here is willing to take him on, even for the coin I'm offering. What do you want me... I'll make sure Hadi and his family are safe. Thank you. You're a good woman, Laniara. Hadi lives out east in Whitestone Hollow. Please, hurry. I'll see what I can do. Okay, let the episode go a little longer while I speak with this, merchant. Merchant? Representative. We'll see what happens with this. Maybe we can help a bit. Okay, she's outside the fishery. Let's head down here. There she is. Gods, it's freezing out here. Let's get this over quickly. I'd go inside the fishery, but that smell... Ugh. I'm also regretting having the fish stew at the inn. One of the fishermen said they found a body in one of the barrels once. Slowly looks at the monk. If you have a more uncomfortable place to nap, I am willing to accept suggestions. According to the town's records, the fishery doesn't export much these days. Why do they keep it open? It's an unnecessary drain on resources better spent on the White Forge and the mines. Closing down the fishery could help convince the investors that Stalwart is serious about maintaining its prosperity. The fishery helps keep Stalwart self-reliant, less expense in acquiring outside food. That's a pragmatic answer. I'll see that the fishery remains open should any objections against it be raised. I'd like to have spoken to the head fisherman, but it seems he was run out of town. Normally that would be of great concern to the investors, but it seems that the fishery is prospering in his absence. Oh well. I'll be heading over to the Stalwart mines next. My clients are concerned about the security and safety of the mines. Meet me there when you're ready. Sure, we can head up there immediately, although it sounds like there's something going on in there. Tell you what, I'm going to end this episode here. Next episode, we'll go into the mines and see if something's going on in there that we can fix. If so, we'll do that first before we speak with her. Is she not here? Oh, she must be inside the mines. Okay, we'll deal with that in the next episode. Till then, I am Chester44, also known as Falai. That is Laniara, Maneha, Zawa, Durance, Aloth, and Sagani. This has been a Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity, and I shall see you all next time.